Hi everybody, my name is Richard Marsh. I'm one of the assistant heads here at Newman College, and I'm going to be speaking to you about study skills, revision, and a little bit about the intervention that we have on offer for our students. Now, the presentation is mainly going to be for 12s and for 13, a bit of a mix of both. There will be some things that are relevant just for 12, some things that are relevant just for 13s, but I'll let you know as we go through the presentation. So first of all, some key dates for your diary. We are hoping, and I'm recording this in December, just before Christmas, and we are hoping that everything's going to go ahead next year in 2022 with regards to public examinations. We know that there's going to be BTECs in January. I'll come to those in a minute, and we are hoping that in May and June, the full examination series will be going ahead for our Year 13s. So just to go through our key dates, you can see that Year 12 are going to be having in-class assessments from Monday the 17th of January until Friday the 28th of January. These in-class assessments will be done with their teacher, not in an exam hall, so in their regular classrooms. It obviously means they won't be doing full examination papers, they'll probably be doing parts of examination papers. Our Year 13s have got mock assessments, or PPEs, pre-public examinations. You can see we've moved those from before half term, February half term, until after February half term. And you can see the dates are 23rd of February until Monday the 7th of March. We have our BTEC public examinations, so the real examinations. They are from Wednesday the 12th of January until Wednesday the 9th of February. Students who are involved have already been informed, so they should know the dates of their individual examinations, and they should be thoroughly revising. Just a couple of dates towards the bottom, you can see there into the summer. We are still waiting for the final confirmation of the full summer examination series. Our Year 12s will be having summer examinations, again practice examinations, just to make sure they're confident moving forward into Year 13. They will probably be in July of 2022. Our Year 13s have their real examinations, the real public examinations, and they will be in May 2022 onwards, usually until the mid or late part of June. This year, you might have heard, I've already written home about this, you might have heard that we are going to be getting something called advanced documentation or advanced information about the examinations, and that advanced information is coming out in February of 2022. It's supposed to be a heads-up document to allow students to focus their revision for the real exams due to any COVID issues or any COVID disruption that has happened over the last 18 months. Okay, now another thing I wanted to share with you is how we grade our students. So all of our Year 12 and Year 13 students are given some form of forecast or target grades, or minimum expected grades. These grades are based on the GCSE results that each student has gained when they were at the end of Year 11. And what we make sure we do is we try to compare ourselves with the top 25% of all students across the country. So we try to have aspirational grades for our students. So when you get any data home or any reports home, you will see a grade that is that's called a minimum expected grade, or a MEG grade. And then you'll also get a grade, a working at grade, so you can see how close or how far away your student is with regards to their target grade. As you can see at the bottom, anyone on a D grade or an E grade at A level, or a pass grade at BTEC, they will receive some form of intervention. Obviously, we don't want our students to be leaving on E grades or pass grades, so it's important that we put in some form of intervention for them. So I'm now going to be speaking a little bit about study skills. Now, this section is mainly for Year 12, but there'll be no harm for Year 13 parents or carers to listen to this as well. But it is broken up into a number of different sections. But if you want to listen, you're more than welcome to listen to this part, whether you're a Year 12 or Year 13 parent or carer. So in the autumn term, we did look at study skills. And as you can see, we broke them up into 4 different areas, which are time management, organisation, revision, and independent study. And I'm just going to go through each of those 4 things. Before I do, these are some quotes from our past students, and these are pieces of advice for our current Year 12 and Year 13 students. So you can see some really good relevant piece of advice there. So for example, do not sit in Newman College Cafe. You get nothing done, even if you think you're working. Start embedding and revising from day 1 and keep it up throughout Year 12. Organise your folders now, and then finally make a time management plan and stick to it. I'm going to break those up a little bit as I go through the presentation. So first of all, time management. This is one of the toughest things that our students find to get to grips with. Students probably have around 15 hours of lesson time a week, and therefore they have 10 hours of free, or what we call study lessons. This is obviously very different to what they would have received from reception all the way up till Year 11. Where they would have been doing 25 hours a week. So all of a sudden they've had a drop in the contact time between themselves and teachers, and they're expected to do independent work. So we have said, and we suggest, if you look at the 3rd point there, that the most successful students do around 18 to 20 hours of independent study a week. That's probably around about 6 hours of independent work week per subject. Okay, here's an interesting comparison. On the left-hand side is a timetable for a Year 12 or Year 13 student. On the right-hand side is a timetable for a Year 7 student. And you can see there are gaps on the left-hand side. So our Year 12s and Year 13s should be working in those gaps, okay? Our Year 7s are expected to work every single hour of every single day with regards to their timetable. So we feel it should be exactly the same for our 12s and 13s. Obviously, students need to take a break and they might choose when they're going to do their work, but there should be work going on throughout most of those study periods, and they certainly shouldn't be having all of those as blanks, and they certainly should be doing less work than a Year 7 student. To help students, we have suggested that they do their own time management chart. And quite simply, what they do is they get their timetable. You can see in red are their lessons. In yellow are things they do outside of school, so whether that's sport or music or whatever it might be, or meeting friends. And then in blue, finally, they start to put in when they're going to be doing their study. So you can see we've got a student here who's going to be doing some of their independent study throughout the day at school. And then they'll probably put some blues in the evenings, at the weekends as well. Okay, so if any student needs help with this time management chart, we are more than happy to help with that. So if a student does say, I haven't got any work, I haven't got any work to be doing, this really isn't an answer. There is always independent work that a student can be doing. You can see we always set homework assignments, there's always additional work, there could be extra reading. And if they think they've done all those things, whether you're in Year 12 or in Year 13, you can begin your revision and your embedding of your knowledge at any point. Something that students do find difficult is these considerations, and that's when do they do revision or their independent work. Where will they do it? We have spaces in the college, we have our library, we have our we have a space in the canteen where they can study, we have some study rooms. Number 3, I'm going to come back to that a little bit later about mobile phone use. And then number 4, how much time will they spend in the canteen? How much time will they spend, I don't know, walking up to Tesco's, for example? They've got to make sure that they have a really good balance. Folders, this is something that's very important to students. They need to make sure they're organising folders if they have folders. So many of our students now do their work on laptops or on computers or on Chromebooks. That's absolutely fine, and their folders are done digitally. If students do want paper folders or hard folders, I've got absolutely dozens and dozens of them. So they can have folders, they can have slippery fish, they can have file dividers. I've got loads of them, so it's no problem at all. And as you can see, I would be more than happy to help students to organise their files and folders. Okay, So a few tips for revision. I'm just going to pause it here. We're going to end the chapter here. When it gets to the next section on revision, this can be for year 12s and for year 13s. Obviously, it's absolutely crucial for year 13s, but there'd be no harm in year 12s listening to this bit as well. So I'm just going to pause it there. And if any of you want to listen to the next section on revision, then please do.